organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, it's Valentine's Day, and we'll show you some UI students who tried to woo their sweethearts with some tender tunes.
Plus, why some local tattoo artists are urging people to think before getting inked.
And in sports, the men's basketball team is hoping to turn it around after a disappointing loss to Northwestern last week. We'll hear from Coach McCaffrey on which Nittany Lion the Hawks need to slow down on Thursday.
That's coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
From Studio 151, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan, this is Daily Iowan TV.
Happy Valentine's Day, and thanks for tuning in to your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Tasha Woods.
And I'm Josh Bolander. A tax cut for lower-income workers came one step closer to becoming law today. The Iowa Senate unanimously voted in favor of lower taxes for over 250,000 Iowa families, including 37% of the state's children. The bill will now go to the Iowa House, where it is expected to pass. The legislature passed similar tax breaks twice last year, and both times Governor Branstad vetoed the bills.
For many people, Valentine's Day means getting a heart-shaped box of chocolates, or if you're lucky, a bouquet of roses. But this afternoon, some members of UI's music fraternity traveled around campus to give someone something else, the gift of song. Daily Iowan TV's Jacqueline Jordan has the story of the Sweet Serenades.
UI's music fraternity warmed up this afternoon before they left to sing their Valentine telegrams. This was their first ever Valentine's Day fundraiser. Anyone could donate $10 for their group to sing to their girlfriend or loved one. So this afternoon, these singing frat boys traveled around campus, delivering roses and sweet melodies to females.
We've got some love songs in our fraternity songbook, kind of cheesy barbershop tunes that are really classic love songs from many generations ago.
And from the looks of it, the songs from those old fraternity books still seem to work.
That evening, the one we love and always will adore, our voices raise.
Jacqueline Jordan, Daily Iowan TV.
The race for Iowa's first congressional district looks the same as it did 2 years ago. On Monday, Republican Ben Lang announced his candidacy for the congressional seat held by incumbent Democrat Bruce Braley. Braley beat Lang by a narrow margin in the 2010 election. Since then, the district, which includes the University of Northern Iowa, was redrawn to include 11 more counties. But still, voter registration numbers favor Braley, with Democrats outnumbering Republicans by about 25,000 voters.
Tuesday saw a lot of melting snow. To find out if the warmth will continue tomorrow, let's now go to Christina Targos for your first look at weather.
Thanks, Tasha. We should continue to see the snow melting throughout the week. Wednesday will start out partly cloudy with a chilly 32 degrees and warm up to 39 in the afternoon, but with a 50% chance of showers. Wednesday evening will only drop down to 36, but with an 80% chance of a rain-snow mix. And I'll be back in a bit with your 6-day forecast.
Representative Dave Loebsack released a statement today on President Obama's budget proposal, and the congressman had some mixed feelings. While praising the president's workforce development plan, Loebsack disagreed with the plan to close several Department of Agriculture offices in Iowa. Loebsack said, "I was disappointed to see included a proposal to close and consolidate USDA offices, including 4 in our state, which we know will not help economic or rural development in Iowa. I will continue pressing the case for why these offices are important to farmers and the community."
Body art is both expensive and permanent, and getting a tattoo requires more research than you might expect. Beyond the Ink is a tattoo education foundation that works to give people the information they need to know before getting inked. I talked with the group's leader to find out what's up with going under the needle.
Knowing what you want on your body is one of the most important aspects of tattoos.
But who you're letting do it is another that most forget about. Chris Richer expresses that the artist is a key part in your experience with getting tattoos.
Even just the basic tattoos, you should have a concept of, can they lay down a clean tattoo? Do you know the difference between a well done and a poorly done tattoo?
Richer advises people considering tattoos to make sure you're ready for the commitment of a permanent feature on your body. She stresses the importance of looking at portfolios of your artist before you commit to them. A clean shop is key to a healthy tattoo, and a smaller tattoo means less work and simpler designs. Mark Bell, tattoo artist at Indigo Body Art in Coralville, says that decisions should only be made after careful consideration.
People can make educated choices for themselves instead of making a seem like a good idea at the time, momentary decision. You know, for something that you're going to make that decision once and live with for the rest of your life.
Chris Richer is currently on day 5 of her Beyond the Ink tour. She plans to reach all of the United States and southern parts of Canada, all while sharing the importance of how to be safe when getting inked.
A proposed expansion to the Field of Dreams movie site moved one step closer to becoming a reality Tuesday. An Iowa House subcommittee approved a $38 million plan to build 24 baseball diamonds and an indoor training facility at the Dyersville site. The plan would also preserve the original movie site. Investors say they are not seeking state money for the project, which they say could create as many as 1,000 jobs and turn the area into a tourism destination.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, deep into caucus season, find out why the race for the GOP nomination is closer than ever.
Plus, coming off a good weekend in Ames, we'll tell you what challenges lie ahead for the Hawkeye wrestling team.
That's all coming up in just a few minutes, but now let's check in with Christina Targos for your 6-day forecast. Christina?
Thanks, Tasha. This week is starting to look up temperature-wise. Wednesday will see a high of 44 degrees with a 50% chance of showers. Thursday and Friday will be warm again with highs of 43 and 44 degrees, and sunny both days. Saturday and Sunday will be 37 and 40 degrees with partly cloudy and sunny skies. Monday will warm up again to 44 degrees with partly cloudy skies. That's your 6-day forecast. Back to you at the desk.
Yesterday, we told how presidential candidate Rick Santorum hoped to make it a two-man race with Mitt Romney for the GOP nomination. Well, today it seems like that could be a possibility. According to 3 national polls, Santorum and Romney are neck and neck after Santorum surged to sweep 3 nomination contests last week. Analysts say increasing support from conservative evangelical Christians is responsible for Santorum's rise in the polls.
And while Romney and Santorum jockey for a chance to work in the Oval Office, the White House played host to an important guest Tuesday. President Obama met with Chinese Vice President Xi Jinping in Washington today on the eve of his visit to Iowa. The president talked about strengthening relations between the two countries and improving cooperation. The vice president is expected to take over as head of the Communist Party later this year. Jinping will return to Muscatine on Wednesday, where he first visited back in 1985.
And violence in the Middle East may be spreading to Southeast Asia. Authorities say a string of bombings in Thailand's capital city of Bangkok may be connected to Iran. Police found an Iranian ID near the scene of one of the bombings. They are still investigating a possible link to attacks in Israel and Georgia on Monday, which Israeli officials blamed on Iran.
And that violence against Israeli interests continued Tuesday when a bomb destroyed an Israeli embassy van in India. 4 people were injured in the explosion. While Israeli officials continued to point the finger at Iran, Iranian officials fired back, accusing Israel of bombing its own embassies to tarnish Iran's reputation in the region.
And now, Daily Iowan TV's Lauren Moss is here for your look at Hawkeye Sports.
It's only been 12 days since the Hawkeyes have played Penn State, and on Thursday they head to their house for a rematch. The Hawks beat the Nittany Lions 77-64 back on the 4th, but the last time this team has won on the road was a month before that on January 4th when they won in Minnesota. With the Hawks eager for a road win, our Jake Abrams caught up with the team earlier today to get their thoughts on this week's matchup.
Well, 17 turnovers is the number that the Hawkeyes had in their loss to Northwestern earlier in the week. Now they're back to work. They're getting ready to take on Penn State this upcoming Thursday, a team that they did pretty well against just a few weeks ago right here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. We sat down with Fran McCaffrey earlier today, and he told us a little bit about how this team needs to prepare for the Nittany Lions.
The thing about Penn State that's been impressive to me is how hard they've continued to compete night in and night out, and how well they play at home. I mean, they've got 3 league wins at home, and they've played really well there. They shoot it better, they defend well. I think Pat's got them playing really hard. They don't go away. That's what happened in our game when we shot the ball so well early. So we're going to have to play really well when we go up there Thursday night.
Well, on Thursday, the one guy that the Hawkeyes need to watch out for is Tim Frazier. He's averaging over 18 points a game, and Coach McCaffrey knows that he is one of the most dangerous players in the Big Ten.
I mean, the guy's leading the league in scoring. I think he's got to be on the All-Big Ten team. When you lead the league in scoring, you're first in rebounding, assists, steals. What else do you have to do?
Obviously, you know, the main key to their team is Tim Frazier, and basically we figured out the format to beat them. So now when we go down there, we know we have to get it done, and you know it's only one way to play them, and that's play them tough and make sure you win the battle of the boards and execute offensively and play hard, because those guys are definitely going to play hard. So I think it's an advantage to us that we know what it takes to win, and now I think we just need to duplicate the performance we had.
So before the Northwestern game, the Hawkeyes had 5 days off. Now they had 7 days off before they play Penn State. It's a lot of rest, but Fran McCaffrey told us today that the team got the rest, plus they got a very intense practice in on Saturday, and I think the players overall enjoyed the week off. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Jake Abrams, Daily Iowan TV.
And after a successful weekend, the wrestling team is now looking forward to yet another tough weekend on the national stage. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Nick Robertson looks ahead.
Tom Brands and the Iowa wrestlers have a tough road ahead of them. After finishing first at the regionals in Ames this weekend, the squad now heads to Stillwater, Oklahoma for the final round of the national duels. There, Iowa joins 20th ranked Illinois and co-number 2 ranked Oklahoma State and Minnesota, all 3 of which present challenges for the Hawks. Illinois was Iowa's first Big Ten test back in December. Hawks won the meet 20-13, but then top-ranked Matt McDonough lost his first and only match of the season to unranked freshman Jesse Delgado. Iowa could also face Big Ten rival Minnesota in a rematch. The Hawks hung on to win 19-7 with the help of freshman Mike Evans, who scored bonus points with a pin. Lastly, Oklahoma State presents the biggest challenge to the Hawks as they defeated Iowa in December by only 1 point. Although a lot of people say that the national duels aren't as important as the national tournament, where wrestlers compete individually for titles, Coach Tom Brands will be first to tell you otherwise.
You know, dual meets are where the sport can really solidify itself. Get stronger in the dual meets, make dual meets important, solidify your sport.
More important or not, this last stretch could prove to be a tough ending to an already tough season. But for Iowa wrestling, that just seems par for the course. Nick Robertson, Daily Iowan TV, Sports.
The matchups for the final round will be announced sometime this week. Now, Josh and Tasha, back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. And with all the love in the air this Valentine's Day, it's no surprise that even some animals are celebrating. 2 seals at an aquarium in Thailand entertained audiences by exchanging roses and even a few kisses. The seals named Pepsi and Olay are fan favorites, but their relationship isn't just for show. The couple welcomed a baby seal pup into the world last year.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Wednesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Learn what fracking is and why it poses a problem as Iowa looks to get away from coal and use more natural gas.
Plus, read about a new program that hopes to save lives and stop heart disease in infants.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check us out the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.